Ex-wife tries to frame me for theft. She fails.
Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started.
Ex-wife tries to frame me for theft. She fails. I'll admit that this doesn't quite raise to pro-revenge levels, but it is an addition to my previous post here as requested in the comments. Background? At this point in the saga, having lost the custody battle, V is moving to 1H to be with her then primary lover, no husband number 5. A detail that amuses me to this day is that he shares the same first name as the FB lover from CA as mentioned in my first post. I always refer to them as Paul number 1 and Paul number 2 when talking about them. Yes, I'm easily amused. The incident. About a month after the custody hearing that which I got full physical custody for Rebecca, V and I had an email exchange in which we agreed that I would go to her apartment and take Rebecca's captain's bed and some of Rebecca's belongings to the day before movers arrived to pack up Voldemort's stuff. She was moving 75 miles away to Central NH, having burned pretty much every bridge in the area. As Sam drives the truck, he graciously agreed to come along to both help and to be a witness. So we get there around 7:20 p.m. and knock at the door. After a brief wait, V opens the door, iPhone glued to her ear. She sullenly mumbles something about her stuff is upstairs and then heads off to her second floor bedroom, weaving and mumbling something that made me stop and think. I didn't quite get it, but I recall thinking I really couldn't go in here at all without a witness. I stick my head out the door. Siam, come on. You need to come in with me. So we go in. Holy crap. It's a tip. It's not quite filthy, but it's beyond cluttered. By now, V has disappeared into her room, complete with slamming the door, so it takes me a bit of wondering to find Rebecca's room. It's not just that she in the middle of packing, but there is crap everywhere. Dust, cobwebs, truckling dirt, unwashed dishes, empty boxes of wine, dry dog food, scattered and trampled underfoot. I can see that it's quite a nice place, an open living area with a balcony overlooking it, and lovely woodwork and exposed beams and inset shelves in the walls. An antique wood stove on hearth is blazing away. Really, lots of potential, but a tip nonetheless. So Sam and I start gathering up Rebecca's stuff and take some stuff out of the car. I realize we need an Allen wrench to take apart the bed, so I go out of the car to get one and come back in. And the lull in activity, she had come back into the living area, but went right back into her bedroom as we climbed the stairs, the phone still glued to her. It takes a bit, but we finally get the bed taken apart and have moved most of the stuff in Rebecca's room out of the front lawn. Without conferring, it's clear Sam and I both decided to get the stuff to the front lawn and worry about packing the vehicles after we're completely out of the house. It's at this point that it starts to get weird. Sam is carrying out the second to last load when V pops out of her bedroom door, looks out from the balcony and says, "Why are you taking stuff out of my house?" Sam drops what he's carrying and exits the house. He knew what was up instantly. I came out of Rebecca's room, and V clearly didn't realize I was still there, and say, "You agreed via email that we would take Rebecca's bed tonight." She looks startled and says, "Is that Rebecca's stuff?" "Of course it is. You said," Her stuff was in her room. Fine. She goes back into her bedroom. I take what I'm carrying and go outside. Sam says, "Dude, that's not right. We need to call the police." You're absolutely right. I could tell that Sam was expecting me to object, and he does a double take when he realized he wasn't going to have to convince me. Roseville Police Department, you're on a recorded line. Yes, hi. My name is Jack Crow, and I live at 321 Main Street here in Crowsville. While I'm talking to the police on the phone, I'm aware of V coming to the door and opening it and becoming quite agitated as she realizes I'm talking to the police. By that time, I finished the following explanation. She has slammed the door and is tromping around inside the living area, hiddily talking on her phone. I'm at my ex-wife's apartment getting some of my daughter's belongings as we had agreed to via email. And while I'm getting the last of the stuff out of the house, she suddenly asks, "Why are you taking stuff out of my house?" So in order to protect all parties, I'm asking that a police officer come by to verify with Miss Crow that she agreed to this and that she is fine with what we have removed from the house. An officer will be right there, Mr. Crow. As I'm waiting for the officer to arrive, leaning nonchalantly against the front of Sam's truck, Sam is standing there next to me, just shaking his head. I'm going to call Marie and let her know what's going on. Right about here, V throws open the front door, muttering something about having not gotten all of Rebecca's stuff, and proceeds to deposit another laundry basket, piled high with clothes and other items on the front stoop, and then disappears back inside. I start a whistle. Pop goes the whistle. Most of the stuff we moved is still sitting on the front lawn. We'll leave it there. After about 5 minutes, the officer arrives. He steps out of the patrol SUV and I slowly approach him, arm extended to shake his hand. "Good evening, officer. I'm Jack Crow." "Evening, Mr. Crow," Allie Johnson. We shake hands. I gave him a brief explanation of the situation and he comments that I was right to call him and that he'll go speak to V. He's up there for about 2 minutes and then he comes back down. You guys are good to go. We briefly chat with him, apologizing for having to get him involved, and he replies, "No, you did the right thing. If a woman in MA says something bad about you and you've got stuff dangling between your legs, you're going to be in trouble." I liked him a lot after that. We start loading the rest of the stuff and he asks how much more is in the house. "Nothing. It's all out here except that last laundry basket and the stoop that Miss Crow brought out while we were waiting for you." "Oh, good. I can sit here all night. If you guys are good to go, I'll take off." "Wait, what's that?" "What's what?" "I think I saw a phone in that basket." He shines his flashlight and laundry basket on the front stoop. I walk up to the basket. An iPhone is sitting on the top of it. I pick it up and it looks like Rebecca's old iPhone 4. It's my daughter's old phone. I'll just take it with us. I carry the basket down to my car and put it in back seat. Just as I'm walking away, it rings. Incoming call from V's landline. I realize it's a V's phone. I pick it up and answer it. "Hello." Click. I look at the front. There's a text from Paul number 2 on the like screen. Is he got it yet? Yup. It's her phone. "Wait, officer, I was wrong. It's Miss Crow's phone. Could you return it to her?" He takes it from me and returns it to V at the front door and walks back down to us. "Okay, you are still good to go. I'm going to go now. If you could swing by again in 15 to 20 minutes, if we're still here, you might want to pull in and make sure we're still okay." "Sounds good. You too take care." Not 5 minutes after he pulls out and while we're still loading stuff, he again pops out of the front door, phone glued to her ear. "Is the officer still here?" "No." "Get him back." "Why?" "I want him back. Get him." And back inside she goes. I'm briefly tempted to tell her, If you want the cat back, you call for him. But that little voice in my head says you call. So I redial Crossville's finance and request that Officer Johnson return to the address. Again, Sam and I assume our waiting positions at the front of the truck. This is why I didn't want Rebecca here tonight. Good call. A few minutes later, Officer Johnson arrives. Hey, Officer Johnson, long time no see. He grins at me. She just came out of front door just after you left asking for the police to be called. I'll go see what she wants. He goes up there and V hands him her phone. He talks for a few minutes, hangs up the phone, continues speaking with V for 20 more seconds, and then returns to us. I look at him quizzically. No worries, guys. You're still good to go. But I'm going to stay here until you're done. I continue to give him the raised eyebrow. She wanted to accuse you of trying to steal her phone, but I pointed out to her that I was the one to notice it in a basket you hadn't touched yet, and that you were the one who asked me to return it to her. Her boyfriend asked if you could be made wait until Sunday, but I told him no. They got 3 more things to load, and they're out of here. Just to finish up, guys. We all want to get home where it's warm. We finish up, and we all shook hands and go out of there.